Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Tuesday. I was like, okay, it's Tackle It Tuesday. Let's make up a list and hit it hard and get all this stuff done. Nah, nah. It was one of those days where the workflow kept getting interrupted. My husband's car had to go in for repairs. So I had to drive over, pick him up from the garage, bring him home. And then I was trying to get some computer work done. And I ordered presents for the birthday party that's this Saturday. And got a little bit of computer work done. And then the garage called and said that his car was ready. So we go back and pick up the car, like drive him over to pick up the car. Sit in the parking lot saying, "Oh, my friend Joanna called me and said that she had something for me, and I'm just a few miles from her house. I can probably stop on the way home and pick it up from her." So I did. She has made Afghans for her grandchildren, and this is the color scheme that her youngest granddaughter picked out. It is Red Heart Super Saver Day Glow. Well, she got the Afghan almost done and decided she wanted to put out a few more rows, so she ordered another multi-pack of the yarn from Amazon, and the color isn't the same. There's a purple in here now that wasn't in there before. So she didn't want to add more rows with the purple because it was just so different. So she just went around and did an edging on it and gave me what was left of the package so I can play with it. So thank you, Joanna. Hi, Remus. So then I decided once I got home, it was lunchtime. I had an oopsie from yesterday that I need to fix. Don't worry, we'll get to yarn eventually. That was yarn worth it. Yesterday I was making dinner. I had pork chops with sauerkraut and squash in the oven. All I needed, and water boiling on the stove to make instant mashed potatoes. There were none in the pantry. Need to add that to my shopping list. So I ran down to the basement, got a couple of regular potatoes, and shredded them into the boiling water and let it cook for like 5, 6. Okay, are they done yet? They're just little shreds. They should be done by now. And then I tried mashing that. It was very runny. It was very lumpy. It was interesting. Like I added some powdered milk, hoping that that would thicken it up a bit. It didn't. I added some cornstarch, hoping that that would thicken it up a bit. It didn't. So we sort of ladled these like a mashed potato pond onto our plates to have with our dinner. And I was left with like 2 cups of this leftover. My husband's like, "What are you going to do with that? You going to throw it away?" I want to, but no, we're seniors now living on Social Security. We need to be good about not wasting stuff. So when I got home from the dropping the car off, stopping and visiting with Joanna, and then going to the farm stand to get corn for dinner, got home. Okay. I cut up an onion. I cut up a carrot, onion, and some celery. Put that in some boiling water with some chicken broth. Added what was left of the potatoes. Rinsed out the jar with some more water. There was maybe 2 or 3 ounces of Black Forest ham lunch meat in the fridge. Diced that up into little pieces. Dumped that in. Dumped in some garlic salt. Put a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese. Needs a little bit more salt. Okay. So we had like rescued potato soup for lunch today. It eventually was pretty good. But didn't end up having lunch until 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. No, must have been before 1:30, because around 2 or so, I just couldn't keep my eyes open anymore. I had been working on my puzzles too. I have a puzzle quota, a puzzle proofing assignment that I'm working on, and that was getting attention today. I did get my quota for that done. I just kicked back in my chair, pulled the blanket up, and napped for about an hour and a half. Like, whoops, now it's time to cook dinner. So that must have been like 2:30 to 4. So there wasn't all that much craft time today. I did get an Etsy order out to the mailbox. I made a little gift to go in it and got the Etsy order out to the mailbox. Wow, that's like 3 Etsy orders in 1 week. There's hope for my shop yet. I think the summer slump might be ending. Yes. Okay. So one thing that I had put on my to-do list today was, I'm down to 10.5 ounces. I wanted to go through this and cake it all up so that it would sit neatly in the box. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 caked up and decided, no, not doing that today. We're going to use up a few more before we get to the caking, because I put it in the yarn winder. You know how you get that little slot across the top? Put the yarn in, start twirling, the yarn pops out. Put it back in, start twirling, the yarn pops out. So it had to put it in and then like be holding the yarn down low and turning it to try to get it to stay. At one point, I took an old credit card from BJ's Wholesale Club, which I don't shop there anymore. At one point, I had a membership from church, but I have this ancient card. Boy, the picture on the back is like, it doesn't even look like me anymore. Okay. I would put the yarn in and then put the credit card in on top of that to hold the yarn in, and I'd be winding, and it worked. It held the yarn in there so I could get it going. But after a few turns, the yarn would be established and the credit card would just go flying up in the air. Oh, the adventures I was having winding yarn today. So I decided I'll get a few of these down a bit more, especially the cakes where there's 2 in 1 color. I'm not going to do this. Like there's a couple here of a light pink. There's a couple of more of a dusty rose. There's like 1.5 over here of a orangish red. The lavender, I've got like 3 of those. There's a dark purple that I've got 3 of. Well, 2 and a 2.25. There's 1.5 there of gray. There's 2 down here of a like highlighter green, and there's like a bright blue over here where there's maybe 1.5. So I want to use those, because today I was going through. Okay, first, last night I finished up one item. This little, it's supposed to be like the Jellycat coffee, and it's got a little heart cream on the top. Yeah, I made it with green. This is probably the closest I have to goose turd green, and I made a coffee cup out of it. What can I say? I'm not going to put goose turd green on the price tag. So then I made, nope, that wasn't the first one I made. Must have been. Okay. Then I made a pink football, because yesterday I made a blue football. So now I got a pink football and a blue football and a bright green football and a yellow football And then I decided to finish off the goose turd green to make a football. But I ran out. So this is a football that went plunk in the mud and got dirty on one end. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So now I have 5 footballs to add to my $5 box. Okay, get these. I was weighing those out. I was weighing the yarn out. Okay, I tried with the pink one. I weighed the yarn before. I weighed the yarn after. 0.24 ounces with this DK yarn to make that football. So I was weighing them. Okay, this one I've got 0.25. This one I've got 0.24. For this one, I had 0.23. I can make it. I can make it work. So now I'm going to have to figure out what pattern will work with about half an ounce of this yarn. Because like I just showed you, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 different colors where I have about half an ounce of that color. So I will look through my inventory and see what I'm running sort of low on. Not loaf cats. Loaf cats are, I have so many loaf cats. I have so many turtles. Maybe something with a dog. You know what? My Fun Friday favorite for this week is supposed to be a bunny. I should make some bunnies. Get one of my favorite bunny patterns and go to town on making bunnies. All different colors. Find a bunny pattern that uses about half an ounce. Or I could find a pattern that uses less than half an ounce. No, more than half an ounce. And do like the head one color, the body another color. Make a patchwork bunny. Ears, ears one color. I could do like 5 different colors on one bunny. Arms, legs, body, head, ears. Yep. But they gotta have a little white poofy tail. No matter what color the bunny is, it's gotta have a little white poofy tail. Okay. Thank you for talking me into that. That is my plan now. I'm gonna go find a bunny pattern and I'm gonna start making little bunnies. Yep. So let's see. It's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. One of my girls had a teacher who would just stand in front of the class and say, "Good morning, people. It's Tuesday. Do you know what that means?" And all the kids would be like, What? What does it mean? That tomorrow's Wednesday. Yep. So it is time to go do some more playing with yarn and continue with my goal of clearing the clay. For those who haven't seen any of these videos in the last week, clay stands for Chef Lori Advent Yarn. Because Chef Lori sent me this as part of a prize package. When you enter one of her contests, you never know what you're gonna get. If I had my cereal box right here with me, I'd say case in point. You didn't show you the cereal box, but I'll behave. Yeah, I'll behave. I'll go play with yarn. It's late. It's almost 9 o'clock. I did have a nap, so it's not like I'm tired, but I'm just in one of those silly moods. And now that I have a plan for working on the rest of this yarn, I'm feeling quite motivated. Yes. Bye-bye.